Hello, y'all. This is Shelly with It's the Experience with Shelly. In today's video, we're going to do a small thrift estate sale shop and look at a few items that they had on display during the estate sale. And then we're going to get into my Thriftmas items that I've been collecting over the past several months. I want to give a special thanks to Becky at My Little Vintage Home for allowing me this opportunity to collaborate with her. Thank you, Becky. Hello, y'all. It's Shelly with It's the Experience with Shelly. In today's vlog, I'm going to be showing y'all some of my thrifted items that I've been thrifting for vintage Christmas. In the Christmas of 2023, I decided that I was going to start a shiny bright vintage Christmas tree and only use vintage glass ornaments. So I started collecting these ornaments, and my base color is pink, this color pink. So I've been on the hunt for them for Christmas 23 and 24. And I managed to find enough to completely cover my tree. I have managed to find about 2,000 of those glass ornaments. And it's primarily pink because my me mama's favorite color was pink, and Christmas just reminds me of her. So I've been scouring all of the estate sales, the Goodwill, and occasionally a antique store, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, trying to find these ornaments. So this year I managed to, about 2 weeks ago, I lucked into finding 4 boxes of the pink ones at an estate sale. And they were $8 for the small box and $10 for the larger box. So I bought all the pink ones that they had. Then, now that I feel like I have enough ornaments to cover my tree, I've decided that I'm going to expand out and start doing vintage Christmas all throughout my house. Historically, I've just been a trendy Christmas decorator where I would just go with the trend, changed it up every couple of years, never had anything traditional. But I miss those days. I miss my grandparents' house with all the history and the stories and the collectibles and the passed down memories. I miss looking back at old photographs and seeing the fake fireplace in my grandmother's house with the Christmas tree beside it and all of the nostalgia that came with it. So I've been collecting since January to prepare for Christmas 2025. So here's a few things that I've come up with, and I just thought that I would share them with y'all today. If I know how much they were or where I got them, I'm going to tell you. So we're going to start with this little item. I found it at the Goodwill. It was like $2.99. I remember these from my childhood because we would bake candy and we would put them in there. I found 2 of these and I plan to stack them on top of each other and bake something and put in there. The same for this. I remember these from my childhood, and I remember making Martha Washington candy and rolling them in little balls and putting them in this and displaying them and getting the little treat out to eat it. I found this at an estate sale. She was $3 and they listed as is, and she is missing a part of her wing, which I don't really care. I loved her. Part of my thrill is rescuing these items and keeping them from going to the trash or the landfill. So I was very excited to find her and get her. Found this Santa. He was on this little stand. He was $1. So I was super excited when I found him. Found this pillow. It's a homemade pillow, and it was at the Goodwill for $2.99. I found this Santa teapot at an estate sale. It was $8. And this tree skirt, really nice tree skirt, it was at an estate sale. It was $3. Found this little elf at an estate sale. I've not seen one like this. It's kind of like a bended knee elf, but he's got wire all in him, and he's posable. He was $10. Then I found this at the Goodwill. I just thought he was cute, liked his little face. It's $3. I found another one of these Santas, and I did pay up for him. I think he was $12, and then I was kicking myself when I found the one for $1. But I hadn't found the one for the $1, and I really wanted one, so I went ahead and bought him. I found this little stocking holder at the Goodwill. He was $2 or $3. My sister and I had these when we were kids. We both had one, and I remember my mom loaned them out, and we never got them back. So now I have one for both of us that I plan to use this year. Along with this, these were Hallmark mid-1980s. I found this little bendy knee at an estate sale. It was not priced, so I just held on to it, walked up to the register, and asked the lady when I was checking out, how much do you want for this? And she said $1. Yes, it went home with me. I found this little Santa for $4 at an estate sale. This little bended knee, he was $10 at an estate sale, which around in my area, if you go to an antique shop, you're going to pay about $20 for these. So I don't mind paying up at an estate sale because I know I'm going to be making a better purchase than I would if I had to go to an antique shop. Then this little clown, I found him, he was $4 at the estate sale. I've been collecting these ornaments anytime I can find them. This was $2. Then I found a whole bag of them, all for $8. Found this little apron. I love an apron. Me mama always wore an apron, so anytime I can come up on an apron, I'm pretty much gonna buy it. It was $4. Found this picture at an estate sale, and I did pay up. It was $35, but you can tell how old it is. It has all the crazing. I did look it up on eBay, and they were asking a lot more for it on eBay, so I felt like $35 was a reasonable price, because I know in an antique shop or purchasing it on eBay, I would have ended up paying a lot more than $35. Found this. It says that it is Holt Howard 1959. It was $15, so I did pay up for it. Found this Santa mug at an estate sale. It is missing a lot of paint and everything. I don't care. It was $5. Then I found this one for $4. Found this candle, $2. I don't intend to burn them, and I'm going to keep them in my house and in controlled temperatures so they don't melt. I found this snowman. He was at the same one, also $2. Then I found this set of little mice at the Goodwill, and they were $2.99 each. And they happened to have the whole set. So I got all 3 of them. And they say made in Taiwan. Then I found this at an estate sale. It was just $1. Thought it'd be cute. You never know. Filler. This bank. It's a little bank. It says Homeco, Taiwan, and it was $2. Very excited. I saw this in the picture of the estate sale. I deliberately went there for this. Never expected it to be $2. Very excited to find it. I found these 3 items at the Goodwill, and we actually had 2 of these 3 when I was a kid. I have a sister, so we pretty much would always get stuff that I can remember. We would get it in pairs. So we had these 2. I don't remember which one belonged to who, but now I have them again. And they were $1.99 each. But the Goodwill had this 3rd one, so I couldn't leave him there. So I went ahead and picked him up, and now we have the whole set. Found this set of salt and pepper shakers. It was both of them for $6. This bank, it says WDW Wyatt Dungan Williams Inc., Los Angeles, California. It was $25 at an estate sale, so I did pay up. But I know I looked it up on eBay, and it was considerably more on eBay, so that's why I felt like I didn't mind paying $25 for it. Plus, I've not had any of this spaghetti kind, and I wanted to add that to my collection. Then at the same estate sale, they had this little music box. It plays music. It was $18, and I let it, I passed on it day 1, went back on half price day, and it was still there. So I got it for half price of $18. The same estate sale, they had this for $10, so I went ahead and picked it up because I knew it wasn't going to stick around till half price day. And then if I can find any kind of vintage oven mitts or anything like that, I always pick them up. This one was $2, and you get an oven mitt and a pot holder. This was also at an estate sale for $1. Some more vintage linens, never been used, still has the hook from the store on it. It was $1, it's written on there. I figured I could do something with this. It was $2. Some handmade pot holders, two pieces for $5. This really great tablecloth. It was $6. These little beaded ornaments, I believe someone said they're for a doorknob. So I guess you put them on a doorknob like that. They were 50 cents each. Here's another one of the stocking holders. This one was $1. And another one, it's $1. This whole bag, 2 little Santas and a reindeer, says Bob 1982 and Gary 1982 and Karen 19 $9.79. The whole bag was $7. My favorite find that day, these 3 little mice, so cute. $3 total for all of the mice. They say Bob 1980, Karen 1980, and Gary 1980. Then I found this tray for $1. This little tin was at the Goodwill for $2.99. It reminds me of my childhood. That's why I picked it up. This Santa mug, it's not anything special. It just says, this was at an estate sale. I remember picking it up, but they had written on the bottom December 1995. So I know it has some age on it. That's why I rescued it. Then this was another estate sale, and it's just a homemade piece. Somebody made it. JJ, I thought it would be great. Little display in my china cabinet. And it has a whole bunch of these old ornaments in there. They were like $6 and I got 5 or 6 of them. So I'm just storing them in here for right now. Found this stocking at the Goodwill. It was $2. It does have someone's name on it, but I'm just going to turn it around like this. When I did the Google image search, it said it's from the 70s. Another little pot holder. This has to be one of my favorite finds ever. I have a stocking from 1972 that my great aunt made that I've always had my whole life. My sister had one that had her name on it. She has lost hers. I've never lost mine. So when I found these, they'll go perfect with my stocking. $3. I mean, just perfect. I was so giddy the day I found them. And then here's the dad. I can't imagine somebody not wanting to keep these, but I get them. I get to keep them. This is the Santa right here that makes me think of my childhood. Anytime I see that, I just love that Santa. Then I found a couple of books. They were $3 each. This one says Santa's Toy Shop. It's a little golden book. And then The Night Before Christmas. Then I found this at an estate sale. It was a holiday cookbook, Christmas favorites, and it said in I think 1982. Found this coloring book. It was $1, but it has the best little coloring pages in there. I just love it. Totally things from my childhood that I could totally see coloring. And then I found this at an estate sale. Plan to display this Christmas. Found this plate. Somebody wrote on the back of it, says Roberta and David from Richard and Jesse, 1979. And then I found this hot plate. I also have this book. It's a gift from my best friend. She surprised me with it. So it's a treasure that I will never get rid of. Then I've been collecting a few records. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with them, but if I can come across a Christmas record that I can do something with, I I've been picking them up. The Carpenters, it just sounds like Christmas. My dad played them. I never remember a Christmas in my whole life that I don't remember hearing this album at Christmas time. And I picked this one up mostly for the covers. I just thought I could maybe do some kind of display with them. Mix in there with it. Found this tray. It was at the Goodwill. It was $1.99. And then I found this tray. It was also at the Goodwill, and it was $1.99. I remember looking this up on eBay, and it does say made in Japan. So that's why I felt like it was a pretty decent score, especially for $1.99. Then these are my last 3 items. Found them at the Goodwill. Found them before I showed y'all the last stockings that said Mom and Dad on them. And I was so excited to get these. And now I found the ones that say Mom and Dad. But I'm still going to use these somewhere. I still rescued them. I think they're great. I'm excited to use them. I feel like I can give them a good home. They were $3.99. Somebody handmade it. You can tell they spent a lot of time doing it. They aren't in perfect condition, and you can tell that there's some use and some age on them because it's not bright white. It's not perfectly clean on the back, but to me that just gives it character. This one is the last one. Just precious, I think. Absolutely adorable. Again, I can't imagine somebody donating these to the Goodwill, because somebody spent a lot of time sitting down doing all this work, and at some point a family member thought they would rather have new stuff, I guess. You know, the older we get, the less handmade items that you find, and the more mass-produced items that you're gonna find. The Dollar General, Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby, mass-produced items, and the quality isn't there. And that's part of my love for this, because I love to find the old stuff so that it doesn't end up in a landfill or broken, so that it's appreciated, and then to give some love to the person that handmade all of these items, that put their time and effort into making these items, for them to just end up at the Goodwill. It just breaks my heart. So I appreciate you stopping by today, and I appreciate Becky letting me link up with her. This is my first video that I'm uploading, and I've been trying to do this since 2017. That was whenever I initially got the idea to start a channel, and I've just not been able to force myself to do it because the editing of it is so intimidating to me. So hopefully I can figure all this out, get it uploaded, and y'all are watching this. I have a lot of plans on things to do in the future. I love Christmas. I go all out. I decorate everything. I just absolutely love it. Starting November 1st, everything starts transforming into Christmas. I also love Halloween, the 70s and 80s Halloween, vintage Halloween. I've been picking all that up, collecting it. I plan to do another video like this, showing y'all what all I've found at these estate sales, Goodwills, and in my area before I do a decorate for Halloween. So thank you so much. I appreciate everything. Please like and subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you.